It is January the 18th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Rec site. Well, some things were happening today. It looks like we are very close to getting started cutting on the third piece, which will be section 7 of the Golden Ray. This section will contain the main engine of the wreck. Should be some different dynamics for the load master and the salvage guys as they're cutting this piece of the ship, just due to the weight of that engine and its placement on the ship right now as the ship's laying on its side. But we saw that VB is in position to make the cut. The move was completed. The straps from the spreader bars have been attached to the lugs of the section. Looks like the stability is ready. We saw that the chain was in the blocks by the end of the day. When we first got out this morning, we saw one side, the west side of the cutting system was in place. We made it back out this afternoon, and we saw that the east side was in place as well. So we know that they are close, very close, to beginning the cutting operation. Now we know that this section not only will have the main engine in it, but we're probably going to see the chain cut through some of the tanks, maybe fuel tanks and or ballast tanks on the Golden Ray. We're not exactly sure on the placement of them, but we feel pretty confident that they're going to be into the tank when they start cutting here on the third section. So big task for the environmental crews coming up. We know that they're up for it, and I'm sure that it's on everybody's mind just what this cut could mean. You know, there's been speculation that there could be residual fuel in the tanks, and that's going to be a concern when they start. And I know that they've got the personnel and the vessels in place, and they are ready to go. So that said, we kind of went around and just looked, and we're going to have some close-up shots come up where we can see the blocks, the straps on the spreader bars, all that good stuff. And we feel pretty confident now that we can say that cutting will probably begin within the next 24 to 36 hours. We usually, after they got the system into place, and we know that there was a little bit of adjustments that were made, and I'm sure that part of that includes taking the weight of the section on the VB 10,000, and that's not a simple task. I'm sure that as the VB takes the load and it settles in the water, it's a constant change just because the ship is aground and the VB is floating. So those variables are constantly changing, and they have to be monitored all the time. And here we can see the spreader bars and see the straps on. And here's a shot from the throat, if you will, and we can see that the cutting system, the chains are on the west side, and at this point, the east side block was on the VB, and we assumed threading the chain through it. Now this afternoon when we were out, we could see the east side block was up with the chain on it, and it looks like they're very close now to beginning this third cut on the Golden Ray. Now, it didn't look like from our vantage point here that the environmental barrier had been put back into place at this south gate, so we assume that that is going to take place before they start cutting, and that's not a very long process. The guys have gotten really good at getting that piece moved in and secured, so we expect to see that very soon, and after that's in place, the guys will be set, and I think they'll be ready to start cutting. And one other thing we'd like to mention, we didn't mention yesterday, but the safety boat, C2, came over and had the most delicious chicken chili that they had been cooking on the safety boat. And they offered us a sample of that and wound up just being super delicious. And I got to tell you, it's quite a treat to go out on a cold day and have some chili delivered. Many thanks to those guys, and it was wonderful. And we certainly wish them a safe day. Those guys got a tough task out there, and we certainly appreciate the efforts they're putting in. We hope you've enjoyed today's report and some of the video and photography from the site. We ask if you haven't done it, please subscribe, shoot us some comments. We want everyone to stay safe out there as we eagerly anticipate the start of this third cut on the Golden Ray. You can kind of feel the anticipation now. Things are really starting to come together, and we again feel it's going to be any time now that they get started on this. And then one last parting shot today, this afternoon, we got of another roll-on, roll-off carrier coming into the Port of Brunswick. It was just a beautiful shot. We had to include this as well. All right, you guys stay safe out there. We'll get another report to you tomorrow, and hopefully we'll see some chains moving and tight on the VB 10,000.